Today we're inside because it's cold out, and we'll be taking a look at two new, accessories or external upgrades for the Action Army Athena or AAC-C1. This is the thickened butt plate and the quick pull bolt handle, both sent to me kindly by Action Army Company. Asked to share my real opinions, but let me throw this on the Action Army AAC-C1 for you guys, and I'm really excited. Now, before we get started, I just want to take these out and we'll take a look at them, see what the quality is and what they kind of look like out of the box. I was very surprised. I didn't know that any of these parts were coming with it. They just mentioned they were going to be sending a handful of upgrades, and I was super excited about that. So we got two bags. We'll break into them. This one I'm really excited. I was actually showing one of my buddies this when he came over before we went to the American Milsim event, and I knew he was going to be really into this one because this is right up his alley. He likes that, it almost feels like Speed Softy in a way, I guess, like this kind of an upgrade. It's definitely less, like authentic sniper and more like modern. Okay, so it looks like we have the charging handle. This is a little end cap for the bolt. And then they also give us some screws, which I'm going to leave in there for now. Let's work on taking the bolt apart. I don't know if we have to take this out of the sniper or not, but we'll see. This upgrade, I genuinely don't think we're going to have to take this all apart. I think we should be able to do this with the entire thing all together still. So all we're going to do is I'll put the safety down so we have room to work. And we'll lock the bolt back. And I think we should just be able to remove this rear screw. So we'll grab our Allen keys. It's going to be something a little on the larger side. Let's see if that fits. That does not. Let's go for a slightly larger one. Wow, that's still too large. Mom, we'll get it one of these days. There it is. Okay. Now, I don't know if... Oh, that was actually pretty easy. Ooh. It was already kind of loose. Okay, so note to self, maybe it's a good idea to throw some Loctite on this thing. And be careful when you take it off. I don't know if there's any bearings or anything like that you have to be aware of. I know with some of the silverback stuff there are, so just be careful. Okay, so here we have, yep, there's a little spring and pin, which I assume we're going to have to take out, so we'll keep those aside. That's what kind of locks it in place when you flip it up and flip it down. And then here is your butt plate and that large screw. We'll slide our old bolt handle off, make sure there's nothing on there that we need. And this is just the end of the bolt. So now we can start figuring out where these pieces are all going to go from the new bolt. All right, let's pop these three screws out. We're probably going to want to grab some Loctite as well. If I can figure out how to get into this. I'm going to go through and Loctite it later on. I'm just not going to do it now because I want to make sure that we get it all installed correctly. And after we figure out how it installs, I'll go back through later. I'll uninstall it. And let me grab a smaller driver. So this guy, oh, I don't know. Does it just sit? It does. Looks like it just sits up on here. I assume it goes, yeah, okay. So you see how the one side is curved down and the other side is flat? Make sure the flat side goes against this little butt plate. See, like that? And we're going to drop those two screws in the back. Now, I assume we're going to need both the same size screw because there's two short and one longer screw. So we'll drop the two shorter screws up in the top. Number 1 and number 2. And we'll just find a bit that fits. Let's get those started. And I'll come back through this guy and we'll screw those in all the way. You're definitely going to want some Loctite for this. Okay. Awesome. That's on there nice and snug. Looks super clean. I love that matte black finish. Now, how do we get this on there? Oh. Okay, so I think that's super weird. Interesting. So there's a little like ball bearing here. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to go to. Obviously this is going to slide on the end, but there's a little screw port right in the back. Does that lock it? Oh, okay. I see how it works. So after looking at it, we're going to have to screw this on and then get that small screw through the base here. And when it's on the sniper, it'll keep it from like twisting back and forth, kind of like a grub screw would with a thread adapter. The only thing is I'm not going to be able to access that, so I think we're actually going to have to take the bolt completely apart. What I did to do that is remove this screw, and this screw from the base, and now the upper and lower should pop apart nice and smooth. And I don't know if you could see this little bar right here, this little like lever. Just pull this down. Now if you flip this guy around, you can remove these two screws to get it out the rest of the way. And we'll grab a small Allen key to do that. Even smaller. One and two. And the bar in the middle should come out and allow you to pull it out all the way. One and two. Now from here, after we pull this thing out, the bolt should just come out. And there she is. You can see with that new CO2 adapter that we tested last time on it. Now we should be able to just take this guy and that new bolt handle, throw it on the back, and then we'll just take this screw and we'll screw it in place. Now make sure you keep this thing in an upright position or in the correct orientation, because if you don't, that grub screw won't go into the way you want it to and sit against that flat plate. I'd recommend not tightening it all the way. Leave it a little loose until we get that grub screw in, or that small screw. We'll take that tiny screw now, and with it in the correct orientation so that the screw hole is in the same orientation facing away from these two little pins. Oh, there's pins on the other side. Okay, so the screw hole is where the channel is that the, come on, brain work, the sear goes into. There you go, the sear. I'm going to drop that down in there. And we'll just go ahead and screw that on down nice and tight. It'll find its place because that plate in there is also flat. Now with them both in place, just kind of evenly tighten them. Just make sure that this guy is butt up all the way against the bolt. Make sure that bottom piece is tight. Then we'll screw in the base all the way. And then we'll come back in and tighten this up a little bit as well. And that should be nice and snug on there and ready to roll. All right, we're going to throw the bolt back in. Believe we have to pull the trigger while we push it in, right? Yeah, you do. Okay. Make sure that we're still all lined up. And I'll kind of just reinstall everything, and I guess we'll come back. Mind you, my hands are extremely greasy, but I did get everything back together. And I'm just going to use this small little bag now to store some of the parts that we didn't use, because I don't want to lose them, obviously, if I can ever get the bag open. So we didn't wind up using this little pin and spring. We'll just drop those in. This small little washer, I don't think we needed that. And then, of course, both your rear to the bolt and the bolt handle, which we're obviously going to keep around in case we ever choose to change it. But if you look now, there's your new charging handle, and it should, there it is. Okay, it took a little convincing. I may have to lubricate it But I think what we're doing here, if you could see the reason it's a little bit hard at first, you see that little like spring-loaded bearing there, that pin? The pin stops it from going all the way forward. It kind of keeps it from going back too at the same time. So once you get it stuck in there, it's stuck on the inside of the bolt handle. It's not going to come out unless you give it a little bit of force, and then it'll come out. So it takes a little force to get it out and forward like it does with the regular bolt. It's just a little bit weird at first. I didn't expect that. That's kind of cool. This whole space is now open, like there's an open chunk here. I do wish there was like maybe like a cap that you could put over it or something. That'd be a cool add-on, Action Army. So maybe that's something that we want to think about. But oh no, that thing looks kind of cool. It's like a little M4 charging handle. Anyways, let's take a look at the thickened butt plate. Because while it's not a big deal, the butt plate's a little bit narrow, and it's not the most comfortable on your shoulder. I wonder if maybe the thickened butt plate is thick enough to change that. If I can get it out. Okay. That's all that's in the box. I do like the Action Army boxes, though. I like how just like old school and like box colored they are. Let's take a look at this guy. So, from first glance, I'm pretty sure we're just going to have to take off both these screws. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Not sure what size we're going to need. That came off no problems. It's a nice little cosmetic upgrade. Does add a little bit of cushion, I hope. And that should just pop off. Should just pop off. How's this one go on? Okay, so it looks like there's a little block that goes in somewhere. So maybe it takes a little bit of convincing. Both screws are off. What am I missing? Is it... Shouldn't be like latched on anywhere. It really just... Oh, okay, yeah, you just have to pry it off. So it has like a beading around it up on the top. You can see it like beads around the base. It's a super simple system. For the butt pads, obviously one is just a little bit thicker. One extends downwards a little bit further, which is cool. It should add some girth to the back of it. And we'll just pop that on like this. I didn't think this one needed its own video because, well, obviously, it's just a butt pad. Super cool upgrade. It's not often you see every day that companies often or offer different butt pads for their snipers. We kind of have to like pry that out a little bit to get it to seat all the way around the outside. Just be careful not to rip it. Cool. And we'll just drive those two screws in really quick before we take a look at it. I think they're both the same size, so it doesn't really matter. Now with these rubber butt pads, don't overscrew them because you can just pull the screw straight through the butt pad or straight past the rubber. Just want to screw them tight enough so that it keeps them on. They don't have to be super tight. Cool beans. Okay, speedy little upgrade, but that is infinitely better. That is infinitely better. That is so much thicker and beefier than the standard butt pad, and it just kind of looks like mean on the back. Now that's super cool. I do wish it was a little bit more matte, like the standard butt pad, because this one's a little bit shiny, but maybe that'll wear in over time. See how that feels on the shoulder? Still a little narrow, but it's definitely much more comfortable. Like before, it felt like you were sticking a thin book in between your shoulder. Now it feels more like a butt pad, so that's really cool. Okay, so taking a look at it now, don't get me wrong. I do like internal upgrades, performance upgrades, accuracy upgrades, you name it, all of the above. But there's just something about like the cosmetic stuff that you can see visually that's just like, it's like a kid in a candy store. I feel like it's so simple, it's quick. Right away, you notice the difference just by looking at it. It's like that wow factor because you don't have to go outside and plink it around in the backyard or show a game. You just, it's there. And it looks gnarly. Oh, that's kind of nice to rip. That's nice to rip. Oh, and the butt pad just looks cooler. It's got like that little like shark tail at the base of it. Yeah, I'm really into that. I like that a lot. Thank you, Action Army. That was super cool. Really excited. I love how this is all coming together. We've increased the power so far. We've made the charging handle a little bit different, which is super cool. We've changed the butt pad. I'm stoked to just keep going with this replica. It's like, I personally think it's the AAP-C1 or the sniper of the AAP-C1 world, or the AAP-C1 of the sniper world. Does that make sense? I don't know. Action Army just makes things super customizable, and I think this has a lot of potential. So we're gonna keep going with it, and I guess I'll catch you on the next adventure. Peace.